Poor Revere back in here again, working hard, or hardly working, or working way too damn hard. Y'all heard about Elf on the Shelf? I don't know what the fuck that is, but I'm dropping off mad shit by Elf on the Shelf. That bitch said the Santaverse. I don't know what the fuck that is either. So guys, with this main message, right? I heard something today. I sent some material from AI Elon Musk, right? He was talking about how the Bank of England was formulated, right? And it pretty much goes that somebody, I forgot the guy's name, I think it's Hamilton. I forgot the guy's name, I don't know butcher his name. But somebody came to the king, right? And said that, yo, we can print this debt, right? And give you an IOU of about $1 million or whatever, right? Which today would be like, I think 300 million pounds or whatever, right? So I thought about it, because you know you gotta think about the Federal Reserve too in this aspect, right? That they don't have no one looking over them. So like when they wanna do some wild shit, bro, they about to do that wild shit. But it had me thinking in my head, like, why not create our own system like that? And this is why CQ Legacy Coin exists, guys. We created a coin, and with all this capital that gets put into the coin, guys, it's something that we all own. It's something that we can all actually transfer energy into, you know? And I feel as though a lot of y'all kind of like don't really understand this aspect of creating a coin. So I just feel like it's just best to Google this stuff, because you know there's Algorand, there's Bitcoin, there's Ethereum, all different coins, right? That somebody has created with real case scenario, right? Real case situations. So you know, the more and more we can grow this CK Legacy Coin, guys, the more we can actually create a system for ourselves that is separate from the bullshit, you know? And it's always best to be away from the bullshit, because like, why would you want to be in systems that they can control completely and literally like freeze your money? Like for instance, you guys remember the whole thing with the truckers in Canada? I forgot what the whole situation was, but they pretty much got their money frozen, so they couldn't use it, and their accounts were frozen. So you know, why would you want to be in a system where the control mechanism is that much? Think about it in your head. Really think about it in your head. You know what I'm saying? I feel as though, you know, you guys can do the pros and cons, right? Like the pros of being in a system, you know, the pros of being in a system that everybody's in is that you'll be able to be with everybody else. The cons, they can freeze your money. And that con is big enough for me to be like, you know, I don't think that my money being in this system is the best for me. And, you know, once you realize that, you allow life to pretty much flourish in a different type of way, or you adapt yourself to a bullshit system. Money has been around for years and years and years, centuries, and you know, eons, pretty much, right? In whatever case the money was, it always changed. Every few years the money would change, and we're coming to that time now where the money is going to change. Will I say dollars will be obsolete? No, I'll never say that. But you have to realize that, you know, there'll be less dollars, right? Well, I could have more dollars. So the fact that they can print this money into circulation over and over again, and people still want to cling to this dollar, is perfect for them. Because like we know, guys, in 1971, or I think 72, I think 71, Nixon pulled the gold from backing the money. And guess what the money was backed by then? Hope and faith. Hope that the money would still be there when you gotta pull it out, and faith that the money's still there too, you know? All these things are designed on purpose. And I feel as though the faster people try to, like, not people try to, but the faster you realize this, the easier life becomes for you. You know? You don't have to wonder, oh my God, what am I gonna do when I get paid? It becomes second nature. You start to invest, you realize that, you know, the money you have, you're gonna make sure that, you know, it grows for you. You're gonna make sure that you're not gonna work overly hard for something that keeps on depreciating. You're gonna be in a reality now. You'll be in a reality in which makes the most sense for you to get the hell out of it. That's why I think it's so wild to me to think that, you know, people really believe in this day and age that we're not in a controlled demolition. Bro, at any moment when they want to tell you that the dollar isn't worth shit, which they won't do because we live in a debt-based economy. But if they were able to do that, what would everybody do? Would y'all start eating the dirty ass money you have in your hands? Would you guys start eating trees? Like, I don't know, like, what would y'all do? And you know, without an escape plan, like 007 be having, like, what the hell are you gonna do? Really think about this in your head. I think about it. That's why the hell I'm out the dollar. The only money I have in my account is to pay bills. besides that, I'm completely liquid from that shit. And you know that some people will be like, yeah, you know, we're gonna go back to a gold silver standard. Bitch, how? How's that possible? It's not possible due to the fact that not everybody has gold and silver. So you're telling me that have and have nots will be completely like, the gap will widen to the extent that you're gonna be like, yeah, you know, I wish I bought gold and silver. People can't even afford gold right now. Silver's still affordable. It's around $50, $60 or whatever. But nobody can really afford 4 bands for a silver coin right now. I mean, for a gold coin right now. You know, so the fact that some of y'all think that we're gonna go back to that standard is crazy to me. It just kind of shows how far people kind of, like, their brain just falls off the cliff. The faster we realize that we're in a debted economy, debt to everybody, and everybody owes us money in the US dollar, which is debt, the faster you realize that you don't really want to be so close to this, knowing that it's deteriorating. We're told every year that inflation is going up. We're told every year that money loses value, 2%, give or take, right? And we can go out and see the prices and just see that this is a fucking lie because, you know, we have 2 eyes to see and we're looking at it and we're seeing a demolition. And, you know, the fact that some of y'all don't want to believe we're in this kind of economy is even more wild to me. For instance, I shop for people every single day, right? Milk, healthy milk, quote unquote, costs it costs $6. Who the fuck is buying this milk? Eggs cost about $7. Who the hell buying these eggs? I don't know why it's so hard to see what's clearly in front of our eyes. Some people don't like that shit, but you know, you gotta realize that you have to like this shit. Or else you would have changed your tune. Your tune would have changed a long time ago. You know? But I love y'all.